Welcome to Board Game Empire. We're going to be giving you a brief overview and review of Gearworks. So this is a game where it's a area majority, hand management, tile placement, set collection type game where you are trying to hopefully completely build 3 contraptions by the end of 3 rounds by collecting the correct parts. And the way you do this is by controlling rows and columns on the board here. I will say this player mat, I believe, is extra, and I would suggest if you buy this game to invest in the player mat because it makes a lot of difference. In this game, it makes it more, in my opinion, more cohesive and easy to set up and know exactly where to play. So we set this up for a 2-player game. You do not use column E in a 2-player game. And it's marked here on the player mat. This can be played solo. So this is for 1 or 2 players here, and one plus here. So you're going to have your cards at B1, A2, D3, and C4. And you can see the gears here, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the starting cards. Then each player gets 5 gear cards and 1 contraption card and a spark. The sparks is basically the commodity in this game that you use to gain additional actions or do replace gear cards, things like that. So like I said, it's over 3 rounds. Each player gets that 1 contraption card that they're working on for that round. It's random. And then so you know which parts at the bottom you need to complete that card. So this one needs A1. So I'm going to try really hard to control that card by the end of the game. So I don't have to have my card exactly there. I just have to be the last player to play in this column and this row before the end of the round to control it. Because this gear is always, as soon as you place a card, so I'll place this one right here, and I'll go over the placement in just a moment. So I placed a card here, so I'm going to turn this gear over. I'm red, and I'm going to put the red row. I control it at this moment, and I control column B at this moment. But if Anthony was to play another card in this row, let me find, okay. If he was to play that, then he was black, I think. He would turn this row to black and the column to black. So he now controls column A and row 4. And you just keep doing this tug of war type thing throughout the whole round until everyone passes. When you're placing, you notice these arrows on the cards. That's telling everyone if it's going ascending or descending. And the first person to play a card beside one of these starting cards is the one that decides that by the card they play. So you can see this one's going up this way, so the arrows need to be turned to the right. So any card you play, make sure it's placed the same way and follows the numerical order. If I placed a 3 here, the arrows would be going this way because it's going up the opposite way. The other placement rule is you can't have more than any of the same color in each column. So this going down rows, it's fine. Colors don't matter. It's the numbers that matter. And you can see on your map numbers, left to right. Columns is the colors. So you can't repeat colors in each column. What are you doing? Say even though that's the starter card, say those cards were there and I placed this card here. You get sparks if you can go all 4 ways if you're able to, the closest cards, all 4 directions, to this card. You add those up or subtract. If they add up, or if you could subtract them one number by the other and it adds up to this number you just placed, you get, is it 1 spark or 2 sparks? 1 spark. 1 spark. So that is a great way, especially at the beginning of each round, to get sparks. So say this 2, we'll forget that that was the card played, but say I put this 2 here, same thing. I would subtract 2 from 4, and that equals 2, so I would get a spark for that. It's a great way to gain sparks, because this is what you could do with sparks. To spin them, you can spend 1 to just draw a gear card, and as you can see, gear cards are very valuable in the round. Or you can re-enter the round after you pass. The only time you cannot re-enter the round is if everyone has passed. The round is over at that point. You can use 2 sparks to replace a gear card. So say I really want to get this column, but I need the for some reason I want that number to change. I could place, say I want to place this 3 here on top of that other 3, because I want to control this column or this row. So I would place that card there and play my 2 sparks to place it on top of it. If for some reason this card is... Actually, no, I'm thinking of a different game. I was thinking if it moved, you move them all. I'm thinking of the other game we just played. And then you can pay 2 sparks to draw a contraption card. So that might give you... Normally you only get 1 per round. That gives you an additional contraption card. So as you can see, we're not playing column E in a 2-player game, so you're limited to just these 4 columns as long as you follow those placement rules, and just constantly that tug of war. And at the end of the round, whoever has by the end of the round, all of these will be changed. And so whoever has that control of that row will get to take that part, and you just go up all 8 of them and give each person, the controlling person, that part. Then they'll look at their contraption from that round only and see if they can complete it. You cannot use previously gained parts to complete your current contraption card. Same with your previous contraption cards. You cannot use parts you got now to do a previous, did I just say that, a previous contraption card? Either or. You cannot use things you previously got in any parts or contraption cards you got in previous rounds. So that makes it a little bit more challenging, because you have to try to control that row and column that round. So after the 3 rounds, you're going to count up your points. So if you were able to complete a contraption card by collecting both parts in that same round, you will get 9 points at the end of the game. If you were only able to do 1 part, you would get 4 points at the end of the game. If unfortunately you weren't able to get any parts for it, there's no points for that contraption card. You get 2 points each for any unused parts. So at least the parts you gained that didn't go on a contraption card, they are worth 2 points, so you do get a lot of points for those. And if you control a lot of columns and rows, that could really add up. You get 1 point for each of your sparks you have left at the end of the game. Also, if all players agree on it, your tinkerers have special abilities. This one lets you draw 3 cards and keep 1. That's once per round. You just flip it over when you've used it. If you did not use your special ability by the end of the round, you gain 1 spark at the end. This one, you can slide the gear cards. I thought you could. I was trying to remember. So slide gear card in row. That's what I was trying to explain. So if that player wants to slide the gear card and there's a gear card underneath it, you have to slide all the cards in that stack. So there's 4 different tinkerers, and all of them have different abilities. So that's how you were able to slide cards, which would also be a great ability to have, because it would allow you to manipulate and move things and make room for maybe a card that you want to slide in there. So it's very simple. That's the game in a nutshell. So what did you think of it?
I like the mat and the sparks and the components and everything. These are all wooden pieces, I believe. And yes. So the cards are nice and thick, so you can actually shuffle them. The illustration is, like I think 80s or 70s, like it's back in 50s maybe. So it has the old style illustration. So the theme in it is
steampunk.
Yeah, steampunk. Mm-hmm. So it has that cohesive theme throughout the game. So great components. Replayability, high replayability, because there's so much strategy and so many different cards that you will encounter throughout the game. It is a little luck based because it's all dependent on the cards you get, but it's very strategic and where you place them, because there is a big array of areas that you could place them in. And so then the mechanics, like I said, the mechanics very strategic. If you like kind of like chess, checkers, like those type of games, or some that is more advanced, I would say this is way more advanced.
This does not remind me of chess or checkers at all. Like, what are you talking about?
Well,
I don't like either of those. Yeah. I like this game.
Well, it has that tension that those games present. And so it has that where if you play something, someone else can place it in a certain spot. And so it has that tension that those type of games, if you play them competitively, that you would be used to. So great mechanics. Overall total, I'm giving this a 7.5 out of 10. This probably will go up as we play more and more, as I find more strategic ways to dominate.
Dumb. He lost.
Barely. But I've found ways to that next game should be able to easily. So, what did you think?
Well, I really enjoyed this game, and it's not just because I won. But I really enjoyed it. It's unique. I love the steampunk artwork in it. And it's easy to learn, very easy to teach, and it's quick to set up. And with the player map, very easy to set up, very easy to follow. And there's lots of indications on the player map that you immediately know where all the pieces go. I really like that. And like he said, the components are really nice. They have wood components, and even the little cardboard parts are nice. So excellent components, very nice player mat. I really enjoyed this game. I love that mechanism where you are trying to, it's the push and pull, which what he was referring to. It's nothing like checkers and chess. So if you don't like those games, don't think you're not going to like this game. but that's what he was referring to. You're constantly placing cards, and these are always turning.
I was referring to the 10.
They're always flipping back and forth to different colors, and it's like a nail biter near the end of the round because you've got your contraption card that you're trying to finish, and lo and behold, he puts a card down and takes either one or both of your row and columns that you worked so hard to control that whole game. That happened quite a bit. You didn't complete any of your contraptions, did you?
One.
You actually completed it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I only completed one, and my other two, I couldn't get any of the parts that I actually needed. But I did have a lot of spare parts, so that's what helped me cinch the game. He had a lot of sparks, but the spare parts are worth more than the sparks. So that's one thing you might want to keep in mind as a strategy when you're playing. But I would give this a 9. I really enjoyed this game. This is definitely one I would want to play again. It plays great at a 2-player. We only played it as a 2-player game, so I could see this playing well at higher player count as well. I don't know what the solo version entails, but definitely it's a great 2-player game. So hopefully this video helped you decide if this is a game you want to add to your collection. We will put the link in the description so you can check this out for yourself. This one's been out for a while. I think 2018 it came out, so it's a great game. I would highly recommend it myself. So thank you again for watching. Please give this video a like and share it with your friends so maybe they can check out this game. If you're not already subscribed. We hope you will subscribe. And if you are, thank you so much for being a fan. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you next time.